What's up, everybody? This is Passion 9, the drunk otaku. How's it hanging? How's it being? How it be? I just saw the first two episodes of the Elusive Samurai. And this is a new show. It's airing this summer. You know, I checked it out. I checked this show out. And yeah, the animation, just gonna say right off the bat, animation for this show is fucking spectacular. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. This is a very nice looking show. This is a very good look. Like this shit looks good. This is some god tier shit. Great animation all around. Like the colors, the detail. I love the art style. Like it's a really good looking show. Like I think this might be the best looking show, the best looking anime of 2024 so far. So far anyway. It might just be that good. Like on the production side, this shit god tier. God tier production all around. So what about the story and shit? Well, I'm not gonna lie. First episode, I was slightly down on because it does this thing that a lot of anime do lately. A lot of like shonen style anime do this, where the tone is just kind of it's a little freaking over the top. You know how it shifts from like kooky ass comedy to extreme violence. Like I feel like Demon Slayer did this too. Demon Slayer did this shit too, where like one minute it's extreme comedy, the next minute it's extreme violence. Like I'm not against either. I like both. But you know, you seesaw too much with those two tones in the same freaking episode of the first episode of your freaking show, and I just, I'm gonna get a little dizzy from that shit. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to think. And I get it. A lot of anime do this shit, but I feel like in more recent times, because like I said, Demon Slayer did this shit too, where like they've really been testing the waters lately with like how extreme that shit can get. How extreme we can go from like really goofy shenanigans, really goofy over the top anime humor and comedy to really, really extreme violence. Like the dark stuff in this first episode of the show, like there are shots in this first episode that are like straight out of like fucking Ninja Scroll, alright? Like like really violent shit. Like hardcore violence. And like even just the context behind it is like, oh shit, they went there. Like this shit opens like fucking Disney, and then all of a sudden there's like some Schindler's List shit going on. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty violent. It's pretty crazy. So like the extremes that it seesaws back and forth between in this first episode kind of had me a little like, okay, it's a little much. It's a little much. I don't know. I get that a lot of anime do this, but I've always had a problem with that kind of tonal inconsistency. Like all of my favorite anime shows, all my favorites, have consistent tones. That's something that I kind of value a great deal. Attack on Titan was also kind of a shonen show. I mean, it was in Shonen, in the Shonen Jump magazine or whatever. And that had a very consistent tone. Like, I just feel like when you introduce that level of, like, extreme violence and drama, like you gotta like balance that shit out a little bit better, because otherwise it feels a little schizophrenic. It feels a little too jumpy. When you have tones that are that jumpy and they zigzag that much, you know, it's a little you get a little whiplash, you know? Get a little fucking whiplash from that shit. But having said all that, I still, I mean, part of it was I was just so enthralled by the fucking animation quality, but also I watched the second episode, which had recently aired. There's 2 episodes out so far of this show. And I will say, the tone didn't bother me as much. I don't think it bothered me as much in the second episode. Maybe because I feel like this anime is a little crazy deliberately. It is a little scatterbrained in a deliberate way. Like, the priest guy that takes in this samurai kid to help him avenge his clan after they massacre themselves out of shame because the one of their own betrayed them or whatever. Oh, it's a whole thing. But anyway, the priest guy, he kind of ends up being a kooky enough, interesting enough mentor that I'm like, okay, there's some zaniness going on in this show that maybe does work with that tone a little bit, because it feels, I mean, it sounds like a weird comparison, but it almost feels like something out of a Tarantino film, where it's like, okay, there's definitely a kookiness and a zaniness here. There's a level of goofiness here that actually kind of works with the extreme dark shit that's going on. But, you know, only watched 2 episodes. I don't know entirely how to feel about the story yet until I see more of it, I guess. But as far as first impressions go, I mean, I kind of went into this show hoping it would be the samurai anime that finally kills Demon Slayer. Because I was that show eventually put me off entirely. I finally just walked away from that one thinking, you know what, this ain't for me. This shit ain't for me. Because the tonal shifts in that show were just annoying. I think that the humor more than anything in that show just finally got so obnoxious I couldn't handle it anymore. But this one might have a better balance. Maybe. Maybe this is the Demon Slayer killer. This is from Studio Cloverworks, which also did My Dress Up Darling and Akebi Sailor Uniform, which were both really well animated, beautiful looking shows. So I guess it's not too surprising that this show also looks gorgeous as fuck. Seriously, great animation. This might be their best work yet. Well, that's saying something, because those other 2 shows I mentioned were gorgeous. And I definitely recommend checking them out if you just want to see pretty animation in general. But this show has some really cool shit in it, some really cool visual moments. And yeah, it's hard to shoot it down completely yet, even though I have my gripes. I think this could be, it definitely is, just on a production level alone, one of the standouts of the summer season. So you should definitely check out those first 2 episodes that I mentioned. The first 2 episodes of aired. Check this show out. Decide for your freaking self. It's good. It's good shit. Just on an eye candy level, there's definitely reason enough to watch this show right now. Just to see where we're at right now when it comes to anime production quality. Cloverworks freaking kills it. I actually like it even more visually than Demon Slayer. Even though Ufotable, they have some amazing fight scenes and choreography in that show. I think I like the art style alone better in this than Demon Slayer. Not just the animation, but I really like the look of this show more. There's something about it that's cleaner, sharper. Maybe even just a bit more nostalgic to me. I don't know. I'm not going to go so far as to say it looks 90s, but there's something about it that has a sharper, cleaner look that I prefer over Demon Slayer. I don't know. I guess I went into this kind of hoping like, okay, maybe this is a samurai anime that I'll like as much as like Rurouni Kenshin or Samurai Champloo back in the day. No, I don't think these first two episodes were quite as good as those two outright, but it gives me hope. I don't know, it gives me hope this anime could at least come closer to that. Like, I definitely enjoyed these first two episodes enough that yeah, I have some hope here. There's potential here, man, for this show. So apparently the main character is based on a real historical figure. They're kind of playing with it a bit. But the whole hook here is that the main samurai boy in this show, he's not a talented swordsman, but he's very good at eluding his enemies and avoiding taking hits or whatever. Thus the title, The Elusive Samurai. So there's a little bit of a hook here. And there is some historical shit going on, I guess. I'm no freaking expert when it comes to medieval Japan, so, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know anything about this shit, because I don't. I know a lot about modern Japan. I don't know shit about medieval Japan. So I'll leave that for you historians to fucking figure out. All I know is, it comes to anime entertainment, this show is interesting and entertaining. And you should watch it. You should give it a shot. It's good. There are scenes in this show that are so freaking well animated, they look like they're straight out of a freaking Ghibli movie. Like, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You should definitely check it out. And that's it. I'm the Drunk Otaku. And I'm out. Peace. Peace, homies.